Yes, good morning. So in previous classes, we have seen some of the topics about the MTI radar, how it identifies the moving targets from the fixed targets, that too from the clutter. With reference to that, we have seen single delay line canceller, double delay line canceller, some double delay line, triple delay line, end delay line canceller also we have seen, and some recursive filter structure also we observed. But all those filters are time domain ones. Frequency domain filter also you can use to do the same function. But if you use a band pass filter with very narrow characteristics, because of the smearing effect, very poor range resolution we can get. That is, what is meant by range resolution means, suppose if the two targets are moving with very less space, that is the spacing between the moving target is very less, so in that case the radar unable to resolve these two targets. Okay, the radar unable to find out the range between the range with reference to these targets. The targets are which are moving very closely. So that is meant by range resolution. That range resolution is not good accurate if you use a band pass filter with very narrow characteristics. So how can you avoid the problem of smearing is by digitizing the range. By digitizing the range, you can avoid the problem, so that the resultant filter is referred as the range gated Doppler filter. So the slide representing the structure of the range gated Doppler filter, it includes many channels. After the phase detector. That is, each channel starts with a switch called range gate, so that n number of range gates are used because n number of channels are taken in this example, followed by a boxcar generator, band pass filter, full wave rectifier, low pass filter, and threshold detector are there. The range gate is just like a switch. It switches on and off in each and every PRI, but only once. Like that, all the gates can be switched on and off sequentially. All these gates can be switched on and off in one PRI at least once. Okay, so the amount of time the each gate will switches on, that depends on the accuracy which we need. So followed by a boxcar generator is the help of the boxcar generator is, or it is a circuit of like a sample and hold circuit. So already you know the purpose of the sample and hold circuit. Okay, after taking the sample, the value can be preserved up to certain period. So in order to avoid the information from samples. Okay, so that is the purpose of the boxcar generator. After that, there is a band pass filter. Of course, it is a very narrow characteristics band pass filter, so that the signal to clutter noise ratio will be improved. So followed by this Doppler filter, also called this band pass filter, also called Doppler filter. So a full wave rectifier is there, or full wave linear detector called, so which converts the bipolar signal into unipolar signal. Then after the integrator, it is connected to the threshold value. So already threshold module, already you know what for the threshold. In the threshold network, it maintains a level in order to avoid the noise signal which coming to the end unit. So the signal magnitude which crosses the threshold value, that only indicates the presence of the target. Otherwise, the other peaks which are unable to cross, they didn't show any information about the target. So proper threshold value you have to choose it, that about threshold value, how much we need to select that. We in the first unit itself we have seen how the threshold value will be chosen. Okay, so after that, so whatever the way the samples are taken at the output of the phase detector, in the same order the outputs of all the channels has to be added. Finally, whatever the result we may get, that is connected to the indicator. So with the help of this technique, the response curve is, the response is like this. The response is like this, very narrowed clutter, or the response at the zero response, there is a white notch, so that the entire clutter will be avoided. Compared to previous filters here, so very good signal to clutter ratio will be achieved. Okay, so this is the response curve with reference to range gated Doppler filter. Okay, so have you observed this? So wherever the clutter is appeared, that is at the zero response, especially at the zero response, whatever the amount of clutter is there, so here is the zero response, here is the zero response at 2 times of fp, or at 3 times of fp, or 3 divided by t, like that. So at this instance the clutter appearance will be more. In the previous filters responses we observed that. So in order to improve the notch width, so many techniques in the time domain case also we have seen. Okay, now this is the response with reference to range gated Doppler filter. So very good widened notch is available, so that the entire clutter will be wisely removed. So with this, okay, so that is about the range gated Doppler filter. So, and coming to limitations of MTI radar, so some of the performance limitations are there with reference to MTI. So before going to discuss what are the limitations in this, let us first see what is the improvement factor, MTI improvement factor. So it is defined as the ratio of signal to clutter ratio at the input to signal to clutter ratio at the output. Right? Output by input. No, sorry. The ratio is, we can take it as signal to clutter ratio at the output of the MTI system to the signal to clutter ratio at the input. Okay, that too by taking the average values over the target velocities in which we have the interest. The average value represents the improvement factor I. Now this improvement factor should be very good in order to have the good performance for a MTI radar, but it is affected by many factors like transmitter and receiver instabilities, the physical motion of the clutter, scanning modulation, and receiver limiter. So these are the reasons for the degradation of improvement factor I. So let us see how this improvement factor will be related with different transmitter and receiver parameters. Okay, so with reference to equipment instabilities, the result may be like pulse to pulse amplitude will be changed, pulse to pulse frequency will be changed, pulse to pulse phase will be changed, pulse width will be changed. There is a jitter in the timings. Okay, variations in the time delay which are used in the delay line cancellers, and instabilities in our Okay, in changes in the Coho and Stalo. So changes means in the sense of generating time, so that these are the results with reference to equipment instabilities, and also see how this improvement factor can be related with different parameters like transmitter frequency. Okay, it is inversely proportional to transmitter frequency, so I equal to 1 divided by pi delta f tau whole square. With reference to stable and Coho frequency, the relation is I equal to 1 by 2 pi delta f capital T whole square. Transmitter phase shift, with reference to transmitter phase shift, the relation between improvement factor, that is I equal to 1 by delta phi whole square. Similarly, Coho logging, here also 1 by delta phi whole square. With reference to pulse timing, the I is directly proportional to tau square divided by delta square to beta tau. Similarly, with reference to pulse width, the same equation we can take with reference to pulse width, and with reference to pulse amplitude, I is given as A divided by delta A whole square. Okay, so these all equations represents how that I is related with different transmitter and receiver parameters. Okay, so here again, if you observe, delta f is interpulse frequency change, b is the bandwidth, tau is pulse width, t is the transmission time, sorry. Delta phi is interpulse phase change, delta t is timing jitter, delta tau is pulse width jitter, and delta a represents interpulse amplitude change. Okay, so these are all the because of instabilities of transmitter and receiver. So the another limit of the MTI is fluctuations of the clutter, moving clutter. Okay, so suppose with reference to clutter, if it is a fixed one, some way you can avoid that one. Suppose if it is a moving one, if it is moving, it is difficult to avoid the entire clutter. So moving clutter, with reference to moving clutter, the examples are the echo from the trees, the echo from the vegetation, sea, rain, chaff, birds, etc. So these are all considered as the moving clutters. Okay, so with reference to moving clutter, it is very difficult to remove the total clutter effect. And another one is antenna scanning modulation. So with reference to antenna scanning, so you know already the time t naught equal to nb divided by ft. That is where what is the t naught? The observation time on the target by the radar, where nb is the number of hits received, fp is the pulse repetition frequency, theta b is the beam width, theta s is the scan rate. Suppose if t naught is very small, that is the observation time is very small, the clutter spectrum is so high. So when the clutter spectrum is so high, its effect is large in the performance of the system. Okay, so that is about the scanning modulation. Then coming to limiting in MTI radars. So ideally the MTI radar should reduce the clutter to a level comparable to noise, but that a limiter unit is used. It is similar to a threshold block. Okay, here also a limit value we have to set with reference to noise. In general, to improve the improvement factor, its value is the level with reference to noise is equal to I, L divided by N equal to I. Okay, otherwise if it is so high, suppose if the level value is so high, even desirable targets also unable to display. Suppose if it is too low, because of the clutter effect, a black hole is the result. Okay, so these are the considered as the limitations with reference to MTI radar.